Welcome, Carm Capriato, the Service Aftermarket's podcast pioneer with the gold standard of aftermarket business podcasts. Join me for Aftermarket Insights as we advance the aftermarket. And as always, know that you'll learn just one thing. Find us on your favorite podcast listening app and remarkableresults.biz or on my YouTube channel.
Carm and Matt back on the AAPEX show floor down here on level 1. We're going to go through Joe's garage.
They let us back.
10 working bays, lots of training going on here. Some really unique training where in order to hear the instructor in here, you get a chance to wear headphones.
Yeah, it was about the only way you can have classes running in this area because of the noise.
Yeah.
And also people pay money for that training.
That's right.
So you want to make sure that people paying for the training can hear the instructor. And of course you restrict access to the people that paid. That's just logical.
Texas here, Hunter's here, ADAS training.
Lots of ADAS.
Lots of ADAS. A lot going on. Alltel's here.
NAPA is focused on the now, a national ownership workshop for our valued AutoCare members centered around business building training from industry leaders. This is a can't-miss event as we celebrate the past 100 years while looking ahead to the next 100. Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the most critical tool in your shop, and NAPA Tracks will move your shop into the SMS fast lane with on-site training, 6 days a week support, and local representation. Find NAPA Tracks on the web at NAPATRACS.com. Also, thanks to AftermarketManagementNetwork.com for information that can help you move your business ahead, and for the free and informative LaborRateTracker.com.
It's a great place to go out and see, feel, and touch, look at some of the latest equipment
Absolutely.
That's coming out. You can't get that anywhere else for a show like this because the suppliers know that they want to bring cutting-edge stuff out here. Here's an example of a class with the headphones going on.
Mr. Robert Kenny.
It's Robert Kenny. We've interviewed Robert. Robert's out from New York State, like where we are.
I kid you not, he's a heck of an instructor, heck of an educator, very passionate about the industry, but beyond passionate, I mean, that means a lot, but he delivers really good content. So if you get a chance to see him, take that opportunity.
Super stuff. So wherever you go, you kind of look at a placard that tells you what's going on, who's presenting, you know, just to see these lifts and these vehicles even running.
Yep. Got the alignment machines.
What Joe's garage is all about.
You got this really, really big dog from Bosch.
Bosch.
Yep.
What a great company.
Yep. You got Carl Schneider. I met Carl at an ASE workshop for ADAS. Yeah, extremely knowledgeable, had a lot to do with the development of that, and now trains on it. Trains on a lot of stuff. I mean, you're a busy man.
Yeah, I'm the SME for ADAS right now for Bosch and heavily into diesel as well, but not to say that I don't do other courses that we have available as well. Correct.
So if you see his name, Carl Schneider, another guy, check it out.
You
Take the opportunity.
Here today, right at 3 o'clock?
Yes, we do. Yeah. We've done one live demonstration for the past 3 days, and we will do active live demonstrations here for anybody that's interested in seeing a live camera ADAS calibration as well.
What's new?
Well, the newest thing for Bosch is what we have is we have a fixture that will line the radars up, whether it's BSI, the blind spot detection, or the front radar, that will line it up using the cameras instead of lasers and strings. So the accuracy using cameras is far better than the human element that's involved with anything else.
I've heard a lot of that. Are you talking about an external camera or using the internals?
That's a great question. We're using cameras that are mounted into our DAS 3000 fixture. So the fixture behind us here, that lower bar, has a camera on each side of that, and those cameras affix themselves to the targets on the rear wheels of this vehicle here. It can tell the distance and the centering of this fixture to make sure we're exactly centered to the vehicle and the correct distance from the vehicle when we do our calibrations.
I remember probably asking Scott Brown, learning some things from him. Cameras are so powerful today. As an industry, we've picked up on making these cameras almost like superpowers.
They're a very important component, whether it's on our fixtures or even on the vehicle. We can do so much with cameras today that we couldn't do before. The great part about cameras is we can take a live image and we can stitch them together to form a 3D graphic, similar to like surround view. It almost looks like somebody's above the vehicle, hovering down with a camera lens, looking around the vehicle. However, those images are all stitched together with all the cameras that are available, and they're put together in a 3D image. It's amazing. You can see trees that look like they're really there, oil spots from other vehicles in a parking lot, for say. And it identifies them as if they're really looking at that in a real picture.
In the show we did with Scott Brown, Dave Johnson, and yourself today, I mentioned the fact that Scott's done so much to take what that camera sees and to show us, the layperson or the technician, exactly what it sees: pedestrian, trees, animals. A speaker that I heard said he had a windshield thing and he got it replaced, but they never recalibrated. And the thought was, first of all, it should have been. And I think the opportunity for us as an industry that hasn't invested in ADAS is to get out to every shop that may have had a bump, a windshield that the system wasn't recalibrated, because you don't know if that camera is looking for pedestrians or trees or dogs, and you don't want it to be off because you want the vehicle to do exactly what it was intended to do. So you cannot discount the fact that a vehicle needs to be brought back into its calibration spec.
That's actually a great question. That's one of the things that we try to pass on to technicians, especially on the repair side, because the repair side, they don't seem to be as interested in calibrations as the collision side. However, let's just take a windshield replacement, for instance. If the camera's not calibrated after that windshield's replaced, is there more danger in not recalibrating? And the danger in that is, if the OE specifies to calibrate that after a windshield replacement and you don't, what's the liability there? So it's very important, wheel alignments, windshield replacements, and other things that are being done to the vehicle to help eliminate that liability that the repair shop is putting themselves in.
Carl, was it you and I that had this interesting discussion about recalibrate or calibrate? Was it me and you?
Well, Bob Hype initially.
Oh, it was Bob Hype.
But yes.
And so I heard you say recalibrate, and I heard you say calibrate, and it really popped me. What do we start picking as the proper term?
So that's a great question. I wish you didn't ask it, because that's one of those questions that I struggle with too. So what I've come up with is the word recalibrate is used on a component that is existingly there that hasn't been replaced. Calibrate would be a new component that has been replaced, and that's the calibration of a new component. That's the only way that I have found to separate those two.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Works for me.
I'm glad I just came up with that.
Carl Schneider, you made our episode.
Yeah. But he's right. The repair side is, this is a small sample size of the industry, but the repair side does not take ADAS seriously. Many do not know it exists or care. Maybe care is not the right word, but certainly don't know when a calibration or recalibration is appropriate. He mentions wheel alignments. Some cars, if we're servicing something on the front of the motor, we're pulling the bumper, we're pulling the grills. There's a radar or a camera in some cases. They need to be calibrated after we're done, or recalibrated when we're done. How many of those are getting done? How many shops are putting that all back together?
You would know, since you do ADAS at your shop and you do it for your market. A lot of people bring in your vehicles? Or probably not.
Collision shops.
Collision shops are.
Glass companies.
Yeah.
Very few repair shops, unless there's a warning light on, or there's something drastically wrong with the adaptive cruise will allow this thing to run right into the back of a vehicle or a motorcycle. Then that's when I see it from a repair shop. But after they've done a service, like, hey, you know what? We did this timing chain, we had the whole front of the car apart, and we got to the end of the service manual, and it says that the radar needs to be recalibrated. That doesn't happen.
That's why you have to read the manual.
RTFM.
Right, RTFM.
Are you a NAPA Auto Care Center who is ready to take your shop to the next level? Then the premier tier NAPA Auto Care Gold Certified program is exactly what you need. Gold Certified Auto Care Centers provide customers with a consistent experience no matter where they are in the U.S. Now, this means they are more likely to return and support your shop or find your Gold Certified Auto Care Center while on the road. Gold Certified members can maximize technology, increase their local marketing opportunities, and have a fully trained team that keeps up with the latest trends. Simply put, the Gold Certified NAPA Auto Care program, powered by your local brand, will set you apart. A true partnership is a two-way street. Shops must meet specific criteria to be eligible for the many benefits of Gold. And NAPA Auto Care rewards its most committed partners, their Gold certified members, with free premium shop referrals on the NAPA online locator, annual marketing dollars, and enhanced warranty, training opportunities, program rebates, and so much more. Are you ready to get started? Contact your local NAPA sales representative to discuss your eligibility and apply today. More than 16% of light-duty vehicles on the road are EV and hybrid. Is your shop ready to safely and properly service them? Get your shop trained and equipped to service hybrid and EV vehicles with NAPA Autotech's innovative EV-ready Level 1 high-voltage awareness and maintenance training. Hey, take your Auto Care Center to the next level, the Gold level, with the NAPA Auto Care Gold Certified program. This program is for the best of the best who can provide a consistent consumer experience and earn the trust of returning and new customers. Talk to your NAPA sales representative about how you can become a Gold Certified shop. Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. NAPA Trax has made selecting the right shop management system easy by offering the industry's best, most comprehensive SMS. Now, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you need to run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice, and having local representation is a huge plus. Customizing Trax to your business, whether you're a one-person shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company, a representative consults with you to help optimize your shop's workflow, efficiency, and profitability. Trax always has the flexibility to do business how you need to do it, which means it can also grow as your business grows. And unlike the other guys, will be there for you after installation with the best training and support in the business. Yes, a learning management system tailored to each role in your company. Simply put, Trax was designed and built for shop owners just like you. Visit us on the web at NAPA Trax, that's NAPATRACS.com. Hey, did you know at AutomotiveManagementNetwork.com you can find an SOP, a checklist, forms, along with policies and procedures that can help you move your business ahead? Well, sometimes you just need a little motivation to write a policy if only you had something to review and then make your own. You can save so much valuable time when you can grab a document from our library, make a few adjustments for your shop, and move to your next task. There are more than 350 searchable documents, with new documents arriving soon at AutomotiveManagementNetwork.com.
I have a question about being able to sell to the client a recalibration. Maybe you're not even thinking you got to pull the bumper and a recalibration is necessary. Maybe you ignore it, but you don't call the customer back and say it's going to be another 3-figure number for me to recalibrate the vehicle.
I mean, part of reading anything is you read kind of the beginning and then skip to the end and then read through it. I think too often RTFM means I have the tablet or the computer next to the vehicle, or I print off the sheet, and then yes, it's almost like a checkbox, step 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when you get to installation or reinstallation, and then you get to step 10 and you're like, oh,
ouch,
we got to do that? Yeah, you should have known that probably before you started.
Yeah. And I think the more sophisticated that we get, the more canned jobs that we build, the more disciplines we have of reading the service manuals. We may want to put the recalibration on the estimate.
Absolutely, yeah.
And say, listen, if we get there and we don't really have to take that stuff off and do that work, we're not going to recalibrate it at all.
Yeah, it's like anything.
We got to prepare you for the eventual.
So one of the things I heard here at this show, and I hear it quite often in the industry, is in the repair side, how do I charge my customer for that? So I think one of the things that needs to be done is education to the customer as well. They're really unaware of it and the importance of doing this calibration. Now in the collision industry, it's a little bit easier because the insurance company is covering the cost of the calibration process. But when you get into the aftermarket repair side of it, it's a little bit more of a challenge. And I can understand that. I was in the repair business for many years. But I think it's more of an educational thing to the customer. When I stop and explain any procedure to that customer, and I explain how that system works, and then they understand that I understand what's going on, they feel more comfortable in saying, okay, I'll spend that extra money to do that because I can see the importance of this system that's working in my vehicle.
And you know what, Matt? Our customers, they love the features and the lights and the adaptive cruise, but they don't really understand how it works.
At all. And how many years ago, not that many years ago, but plenty of years ago, nobody knew about programming. Program a module when you replace it, nobody heard of that. You didn't have to. Or maybe you'd stick a chip in it like an EEPROM or PROM. Now it's commonplace. I don't know many people that complain about, hey, Mr. Customer, we have to replace this module, whatever it is. We have to program it. It's on the estimate. They pay for it. ADAS calibrations are going to be the same way. We just have to explain what it is, why we have to do it. It's right here in the service manual. The manufacturer is stating this needs to be done for a proper repair. We follow what the manufacturer states because we're bringing it back to their specification. That's part of the education process.
I can elaborate on that a little bit. I can remember back in the programming days, everybody in the industry was fearful because we heard that stories of if you hook it up wrong or in the middle of reprogramming, the computer's going to smoke, burn the car down, and all kinds of horror stories that are going to come out of that. And I almost feel it's the same way with ADAS. A lot of the industry is very reluctant to get into ADAS because they're concerned that this is a safety thing. So from my perspective, I go back to my days of learning programming. ADAS is much simpler. It's an easier process. The information and knowledge we have today with ADAS calibrations is a much more seamless process than programming ever was and ever is even today. So anybody that's looking to get into ADAS calibrations, I suggest take a look at it, do a calibration, come to our booth. I'll do a calibration with you and show you how simplified it is.
The equipment's getting so much more sophisticated. The software is powerful. Step-by-steps for the technician who's going to actually hook it up and press the right buttons to get it done. It's a specialty, I believe, that we have to be into. And if you're not into it and you respect the customer and that trust, find a friend or another shop in your market and take the car.
A lot of shops do not have alignment machines, but they replace front end parts. They take it to the shop that does alignments for them. They have some relationship with them. It's the same thing with ADAS or programming or so many other scenarios.
Okay.
It's the same.
Matt, if you have an alignment machine, do you need an ADAS calibration tool?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So walk in your shop, look at that brand new, beautiful, pick a name, Hunter, that you just bought, and look around to see where the ADAS equipment
You
is.
either need the ADAS system or you need to know somebody that has the ADAS system that they can go do the calibrations or recalibrations after you've done the wheel alignment.
We can't ignore this. We just can't ignore that we need to do this. It needs to be included in the work order, and you need to find a way to do it from someone in the industry or your own equipment.
Because it is, in a way, it is unreasonable to expect every shop to have ADAS calibration capabilities, or at least 100%. Space is an issue. And not every shop is able to have that type of space and the floor, the lighting, and all that to do it. But they should have somebody that does.
But I hear it's getting easier. Even if you have an unstable or unlevel floor, some of the new equipment's compensating for that. Is that true?
I'm not aware of that. Our system does require it to be fairly level.
All right.
However,
Where did I hear that?
there are some systems that may have a fixture that might adapt to the floor differently than what we have.
Okay.
There is a possibility of that. Okay,
right.
But I am at this point unaware of that.
All right.
But you still need that space out in front. You still need proper lighting. It can't be too bright.
True.
That's one of the things that I run into many times. LED lighting is like the greatest thing. As my eyes start to fail, I need light. However, the cameras are affected by light, and that's one of the things we need to make sure that we have proper lighting. However, the new LED equipped shops, if you're putting them in the future, make sure they're on a dimmer. My experience is shops that don't have dimmers, we're turning them off and having more success calibrating in a darker area than a brighter area, because the lumens of these lights is just so bright, it affects the spectrum of the cameras.
I can't imagine the reflection that's going on inside those lenses, and they're probably opening and closing.
Yeah, I mean, just look around at some of the signs around here. You see the little white spots from the light. That's what happens. Well, you're using black and white targets, and now it's got a new white spot that isn't really white. It's a reflection of the lights, and it affects.
Yeah.
So
Hey, this was great, Carl. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for
Love
coming by.
this.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Matt.
Oh, thank you, man.
Good seeing you again.
Yeah, nice seeing you.
Matt and Carm, Joe's Garage, AAPEX 2024. Hope you learned something.